Hi. So today is day 47 of my weight loss journey, during which I managed to reverse my prediabetes. And I still have a cold. It's awful. It's just lingering so long. It's almost like I'm healthier, so it's not like going immediately into bronchitis and pneumonia, but it's just sticking around forever. That's what happens when you have asthma. You just get every upper respiratory thing going around. You usually pick it up. I hope I'm not grossed anyone out with my incisions, but my arm's really hurting. And so I just came home and put on something comfortable because bra straps are painful and anything with a sleeve or a shoulder, so that when I move my arm, it's brushing up against my incisions. That's why I started this journey, because I was recovering from the surgery. So I thought, well, I'll recover in every way. I'm going to get my health back. I'll get my movement back in my shoulder, and I'll lose weight while I'm doing that. And it's been working out great. I mean, it's slow weight loss, but I've been losing like a pound a week. And I did have to go out today because I had a family member that had a doctor's appointment, so I went to be in support. And, I also had to get a blood test. That was an interesting thing that happened today, because I had to get a fasting blood test, but I couldn't make two trips. I mean, I couldn't go and get my blood test and then come home and eat and then go to this doctor's appointment. So I had to wait, and I had to fast until what time? I think it was like 2:30 in the afternoon. And that was hard because I was hungry. I've said in other videos, and my doctor told me this, don't let yourself get too hungry, because what happens is that your brain doesn't have fuel, and then your brain like gets so desperate for fuel, it's like screaming at you, feed me, feed me, feed me. And it's a very powerful biological urge that's very difficult to resist. And then what does your brain want to eat? Carbs. That's what he said, because I mean, it's the simplest fuel for your brain. So he told me not to skip meals and not to go too long without eating, because it's almost like irresistible to eat carbs. It's like such a strong biological drive. It's not like cravings, it's not addiction, it's your body craving what it needs. But I had to today. So I went and got my blood test, and then I was really hungry. And there was like this cafe right next door. I mean, how convenient is that? But it's like this little kiosk type of cafe that has like very popular food. And when I say popular, I mean sandwiches and donuts and junk. Let's just say junk, processed junk. So that was a challenge. And I've said in so many videos, I say things like, this is a really difficult day, and I ate really carby, and I didn't, I'm going to be a little gentler on myself, because I have never given in and had sugar or gluten. Never. I mean, this is a journey, and I'm not going to go from eating like junk 24/7 to eating perfectly. I mean, progress, not perfection. My goal when I started was to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. And I have lost the 1 pound a week. So I've met my goal. I haven't gone off plan. So I'm going to see this more of a learning journey, instead of coming on here every day. Oh, I did terrible today, too many carbs. I was going to say, this is what happened, and this is how I successfully dealt with it, because I did, was just surrounded by all this delicious food that I used to eat. And I'm sure all of you can relate to, there's always a reason to go off plan. I mean, I have a family member, it's kind of funny. It always makes me laugh. Um, she's always trying to lose weight, and um, sometimes I will be helping her clean out her car, unpack or something, and there'll be like all these junk food wrappers in there. And I don't say anything because I don't believe in fat shaming and judging, but I'll hold it up and just kind of look at it in shock. I mean, I'm not even holding up in her face. I'm just like, what? Where did this come from? And she will always say something like, well, it was an emergency. And I don't say anything because there's no combo emergencies. But she will say, I was driving and I skipped lunch and I was really hungry and I stopped to get gas and that's all they had. And I can relate to that because I've done it hundreds of times over the 20 years that I was trying to lose weight and didn't lose any weight. I stayed 100 pounds overweight for 20 years. Even though I was always, isn't that ironic? Even though I was always on a diet. And it never occurred to me. I never stopped and said, you know what? It's not working. What's not working? Why is this not working? It was always just this once or just today, or I'm justified because I skipped breakfast. I'm justified because, it's the rationalizations that we will do is just mind boggling to me now. How I managed to spend 20 years, and that mindset of I have to give in today because I'm so hungry, because a myriad of reasons, but I'll do better tomorrow because I had to skip breakfast, lunch, dinner. I had to do such and such for this person. This is all they have, and I haven't eaten since. I mean, I have gone 24 hours without eating because of helping other people. I take care of my mom and my daughter. My mom's elderly, my daughter has autism. I can't tell you how many times literally I have gone 24 hours without eating because one of them was sick and I've dropped everything to help them out. And of course, what am I going to eat when I haven't eaten for 24 hours? Whatever's in sight. But I wasn't aware of how often those situations were happening. So, knowing the old me that I would have thought like this family member, justifying it, oh, it's an emergency because I've been fasting for, let's see, I ate dinner probably at 8 o'clock the day before. So I was close to 20 hours that I hadn't eaten anything. Pretty close. I could have used that as I had in the 20 years previous to eat junk. It's an emergency. I've been fasting for almost 20 hours. But I went in there and I took a deep breath and I looked around carefully and I made the best decision that I could at the time, considering my level of hunger, that I really needed to eat. I was late taking some medication that I have to eat with food. And I don't think I did too badly. I kind of ate it there. I was embarrassed to take a pic because it's like this little kiosk type of thing. I was embarrassed to take a picture of what I was eating because it would look kind of odd. Um, if it would have been like a buffet where I had to, I would have. I no longer let embarrassment stop me from doing my plan that's working. But since it was like wrappers that I could come home and photograph, I did that. So let me show what I ended up eating. And I'm not going to be embarrassed because I think I did pretty good under the circumstances. I'm proud of myself, and I should be because that was a real challenge to my program. That is what I ended up eating, and I'll explain why. The Doritos, I have read the ingredient list very carefully, and it's taco chips, which is cornmeal. There's no flour, or gluten in it, and there's no sugar. There's a lot of yucky chemicals and a lot of preservatives and some cheese and dairy, but there's no gluten and no sugar in Doritos. That is a 3 serving bag, and I split it with my daughter. So I had about a serving and a half. And then I had a carton of milk, the Horizon 2% milk, and it's hard to see. Then I had a Lara bar, which is no sugar. It's just like dates and nuts and fruit. And that little thing, that little is something I had in my purse. Now you can see it. It says unsweetened baking chocolate. Um, I found, in fact, I think I have it somewhere. I found this at Trader Joe. It's like a box of unsweetened chocolate, and I was gonna try to cook with it, but in case I had a really powerful chocolate craving and I didn't want to have any carbs, I've been keeping one little square in my purse. And I know that sounds so odd, but I can eat unsweetened baking chocolate. I taught myself to do that years ago because it's so rich and chocolatey. Yes, it doesn't taste as good as sweetened chocolate, but it's like an explosion of chocolate in your mouth. And when you really need chocolate, which I don't know if I should say I really need chocolate, but when I really have a craving for chocolate, I'm ready. I'm not desperate, to eat anything else junky with chocolate. I mean, how much more pure can you get than pure chocolate? No sugar, no dairy, no nothing. I had that with the cherry Lara bar, and it was actually pretty good. I would take a bite of the Lara bar and take a bite of the chocolate. I had the chocolate with me. Um, Under the circumstances, I don't think I did too bad. I had not eaten in 20 hours. I was really hungry, and I did split the Doritos with my daughter. So that ironically was my breakfast. But hey, I'm being honest and not going to be too hard on myself. I made the best decision that I could at the time. That was really what was there. And then I went to the doctor's appointment with the family member. And then we went to that same Asian buffet because it was kind of cheap, you know? Like, I think it's $5 or $6 for the lunch buffet. And I got in that bowl is some white rice, white steamed rice, and then the gravy from the roast beef, and then a few pieces of roast beef. Then two big pieces of roast beef next to that, and the green beans. I just couldn't eat all that beef. They're just really thick pieces. I should cut my own next time. I can't because my shoulder still can't really move it. But I don't know. Maybe I could ask for help because I really don't want those. I hate wasting food. And those big, huge pieces of beef, I just can't eat it. And then in the bowl at the top was a little bit of rice, a little bit of the egg foo young gravy, and some egg foo young. I ate about half of that, ate about half of everything. But that was some good quality protein with the beef. And the broth was really good. And the green beans, I ate all the green beans. I ate half of the meat. So then after that, because I was still sick, and I think I was still driven by that hunger thing. I was really hungry. So then I got a big plate of fruit, and hoping you can see it. On one side of it is that little, can you see that crab rank little pillow? It's the fried wonton with like cream cheese inside. I don't know. I think again because I let myself go so long without eating, I was just so desperately hungry still. I mean, the Doritos didn't really give me that much nutrients. And I used to love the crab rangoon. Really, I used to overeat it. So I thought, okay, I do want to be balanced. I'm not going to say I'm never going to eat anything like this again because that's just setting myself up for failure. I'm not going to eat the gluten around it. So I got one and I tore it open and ate the cream cheese mixture inside of it. And I didn't like scrape too close to the flour because I didn't want that much of it. I didn't do too badly with that, but it didn't taste as good as it used to. Isn't that ironic? It's like I think when you get used to eating healthier, you're not craving the junk as much. It did not taste as good as I remember or as I thought. So I really don't think I'm going to get it again. I mean, but think about how much progress that is. If I wouldn't have done it, I would keep thinking about it and keep missing it. But I went ahead and said, okay, you know what? I can't have the gluten, but I'm really craving it, so I'm going to have a little bit of the filling inside. Big disappointment. This wasn't that good. So I won't be craving it or thinking about it next time I'm there. So that wasn't too bad. But I did eat all that fruit. I did not leave any of that. It was really good because I'm trying to get better. so tired of being sick. It's so depressing. So it was my lunch. Again, lunch is my main meal of the day. And when I came home, I don't like to eat out a lot because it's a lot of preservatives and calories and fat, especially in the meat. So when I came home, I was gonna kind of craving my home cooking, my healthy cooking. So I ate really simple for my third meal of the day. Um, that's some of the sweet potato casserole I made yesterday. And again, those are not marshmallows on it. That is goat cheese. I would never eat marshmallows. They're just sugar. They're just, fluffy sugar. So that is roasted sweet potatoes in the oven, mashed with a little bit of butter, a little bit of cream, a little bit of salt and pepper, and sage, and then goat cheese on top. It's very, very good. So I had that, and then a little bowl of mangoes with fresh lime cheese. It doesn't taste as good when it's frozen, but in the summertime, it's so delicious to get a really, really ripe mango and cut it up, and then take a fresh lime and squeeze it on top. Oh, just the sweet and sour. It's so fresh and full of vitamins. It's so delicious. You know, as I said, I'm really limited what I can do with, my arm healing. I'm still in physical therapy. I'm still in restrictions. That's why I'm still on the couch. Not allowed to sleep in my bed yet because I can't really get up. Again, it's one of the pitfalls of being overweight, probably. I don't know. I didn't ask my doctor, but if I lay down flat, I can't really get up very easily because I only have this arm and this shoulder works. And I'm like 93 pounds overweight. So that's a lot of weight on one arm and one shoulder because I really can't put any weight on this shoulder yet. I really can't lift any weight. So I'm living on the couch for 8 more weeks. I think there's 6 weeks left now, so it's not any fun, but I'm just doing the best I can. So I have to kind of not do too much. All I can do is talk and type just a little. But when I am better in a few weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, I plan on doing some cooking demonstrations and maybe one every day, a simple one, like kind of just showing real quick how I can make my gluten-free and sugar-free snacks and some of my recipes. I might do separate videos for the longer ones, but the simple ones I can do right on here. So it's not just going to be me talking forever. I do want to do more practical things, but just right now I'm limited because I'm recovering from my surgery. So I can show how to do this sweet potato recipe, and in the summer, I will show how to cut a mango and put the fresh lime juice on it. It's so good. I mean, not that anybody needs me to demonstrate that because it's so simple, but if it sounds like a weird combination to you, maybe if you see someone eating it, it will help. And you have to find ways to make things safe for you to eat. I mean, to think that you're never going to eat like yummy food again that you love, you got to find a way to adapt it. Like the cherry pie. I love pie. I love cherry pie. So I got some gluten-free flour, made my own crust as I always did when I was eating gluten, and I could show how to do that. I don't think there's a lot of people that know how to make pie crust. I thought there was, but I found out there aren't that many, and I taught myself. My mom is not a big cook. So, I can show how to do that, show how it works with the gluten-free crust, and we can have a lot of fun, like sharing different recipes with each other that make this journey work, this unique sugar and gluten-free journey. So anyway, I am reaching my limit. I try to have it be like 15 minutes, 20 at the most. So I'm almost at 20 minutes. I think I need to stop talking. So I hope all of you had a good day. And I hope that tomorrow will be better, that I'll be home more, that I'll be able to eat a little bit better. I don't like eating out, but I do it on the weekends. But I try not to do it during the week. I had to today, though. Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.